So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to what's the title of this again? Overcoming life obstacles to achieve your ultimate physique. So a few days ago, I did a few posts and got some feedback from some of my audience about some of just the life obstacles that get in the way of achieving their fitness goals, right? So your ultimate physique, right? Me and Braydon are more so kind of physique focused coaches. That's what most people are after. So, but I think this is exactly what we talked about last time. Do you recall?
Was it? Oh, I don't remember. I feel like it was a long time ago.
Something along those lines. But yeah, anyway, so we basically have a list of responses that we're going through, and whether you're watching live with us right now on Zoom, there's a few of you on I see, or you're watching on Facebook in the Physique Mastery group. You can also chime in if you want and ask whatever questions, and Braydon and I will do our best to cover the questions that you ask live as well. So you ready to get into it, man?
Dude, let's do it.
Did you want to share what you were talking about earlier with the new client you have?
100%, man. Yeah. So just had a new client join, and I make very, very clear. So with all my clients, any clients who are listening right now, like I make very clear your first week or two is going to be, and it's going to be a disaster, right? It's going to be a mess. You're not going to get anything right. It's just going to be a shit show. So I make very clear that don't expect to get anything right your first week, right? So, but the most important thing is, Brandon, you can probably relate, like you need to talk to your coach when things are going wrong. We don't want to hear about all the good things that are going on. We want to hear about the bad stuff too. Otherwise we can't help. So he just dropped this message literally before we hopped on here. So he goes, so here's where I'm at. Monday was somewhat of a bust. I missed my calories by about 600 calories. Tuesday and Wednesday were completely off the rails. Tuesday, I only got 400 calories in, forgot to eat and work, and went straight to my buddy's house to smoke a brisket. Scotch, beer, and coffee was dinner. Was over there until about 4:30 in the morning. Wednesday was a little better nutrition wise, short 400 calories, missed protein by 72 grams. I was so exhausted Wednesday as I only had a couple hours of sleep, but I didn't work out. And then he goes on to say that he's got a toothache as well. But anyway, so I responded to him that, okay, first off, things like this happen, but when life happens like this, what you should not do is just chalk it up as like, this is not for me. Obviously the universe doesn't want me to accomplish my goals. No, what we need to do is see this as a learning opportunity. So I asked him a couple questions. All right, so what's the common denominator here? Why did we miss our calories?
Yeah.
And why did we let these life things get in the way? And how can we prevent these from happening moving forward? Okay, so if we can look at these opportunities, look at these obstacles as learning opportunities of what can we learn from this, it's way more productive. Okay, it's way more productive, and we can get a lot more done with it, right? So he hasn't responded yet, and that's fine. I expect him to get back to me by the end of tonight. But okay, so what are some things that we can do to prevent this? Obviously, you're short 400 calories. You missed your calories completely on one day. How can we prevent that? One thing that I will say is, again, he's going to have to figure it out what works best for him and his lifestyle, but are your meals prepared ahead of time? If your meals are prepared ahead of time, there's no excuse. You pull them out of the fridge, you microwave, and you're done, right? If you're trying to just hit your calories as you go along, if you have like your set calories and macros, and you just plan to just kind of like go off the cuff and just try to like improv through the whole day, you're gonna miss it. 100%, you're gonna miss it every single time. So
I've been doing, I'm sure you can relate to this too. I've been doing this for years. I've been tracking macros for years. And if I try to go willy-nilly like that, it's even a disaster for me. I usually end up pulling through, but the day usually ends in a meal that has 150 grams of protein, and it's like a chicken breast, and I'm drinking straight egg whites or something like that just to get it all in, right? So don't think you're exempt from having to prepare, right? There's a reason why so many people, so many like fitness people like to promote and their meal prep, right? Because it's massive. It makes a huge difference. And so what kind of Braydon just walked through there, two kind of good mindsets around this to work on developing is number one, your goal is progress, not perfection, right? because perfection doesn't exist. If your goal is to be perfect, you're going to be a failure because you're chasing a white rabbit, right? Is that the right? I don't even know if that's it.
Well, I think so. But I mean, look at us, right? I've been doing this for 16 years and I still haven't had a perfect day, right?
Yeah. And then the second mindset shift was failure is never fatal. In fact, you should embrace failure, right? The faster that you can fail, so you want to kind of develop like thick skin in a way. The faster that you can fail and then get over it and then find the lesson and then learn from that lesson and make the adjustments needed, the better you're going to get, because those failures and those lessons and the adjustments that you make, that all stacks up and that changes who you actually are as a person. And it makes you better at doing the things you need to do to achieve the results you want, right? So that's kind of it's not really much of a clear action step, but every time you fail, you got to try to remember that, burn that into your subconscious, right? Like, what's the lesson in this? What can I control? What can I not control? Forget about the things that you cannot control. And then how am I going to do this differently next time? And the more specific you get, the better. So if you can write it down or like set alarms in your phone, for example, like if one of my daily habits that I have that's really important for me for getting my sleep in is putting my blue light blockers on at 6 o'clock. If I don't, I have and Braydon's got his on. If I don't have that alarm, if that alarm doesn't go off, I'll forget every single day, because I'm not looking at the clock all day, right? That's it's like same thing with prepping your meals, right? Like if you're trying to get a certain amount of meals in per day, then let's say 5 meals per day, then that's going to happen 5 times, right? So if you're on a new diet plan that you're trying to get consistent with following, there's a strategy for you that you can implement. Open your phone, open the clock app, and set reminders. If the reminder goes off and you're busy, you can't eat right now, then just make sure to reset it for maybe like a half an hour, in a half an hour, in an hour, right? Mm-hmm. It's resourcefulness, right?
Yeah, it's just like taking these opportunities of life struggles, instead of seeing them as obstacles, seeing them as lessons. Mm-hmm. And the more I almost see it as like, you might also say this too, but like when you're trying to establish new habits when life is crazy, that's the best time for you to establish habits, because when life calms down, it's concrete, but life is always going to throw crap at you. There's no optimal time for you to start ever. In fact, I would argue the best time for you to start is when life is crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And then that allows you it gives you, when you're starting something new, when your life is really busy, that gives you a really big opportunity to build momentum and gain a lot of self-efficacy really quickly. Mm-hmm. What self-efficacy is, in case for those of you who don't really understand what that means, is that's when you prove to yourself that you can do something. So it's like confidence with proof, right? So if you have a really full plate, a really busy schedule, you're starting with a new coach, you have to meal prep, make it to meetings, you got a busy life as it is, family, kids, that kind of thing. If you do a really good job at organizing it all, setting reminders, and you have a lot to do, but you're crushing it all, you're gonna feel like Superman, right? Because you're getting all this done, you're doing it well, and you're gonna feel really fulfilled and confident at the end of the day. When I'm feeling my worst and like kind of depressed, it's always when I'm doing less and I have less to do. Idle hands are the devil's workshop, right? You end up doing things that starting to do, like eating like crap, wasting time, scrolling through social media, et cetera, right? So that's another good mindset shift, is like, know that being busy, sure, it can be a burden. It can make you stressed out. It can suck, but it can also be an opportunity to gain a lot of confidence and self-efficacy.
Sure. Well, being busy is a blessing. You get to be busy.
Yeah.
So, well, cool, man.
So let's dive into these responses I got. There's quite a few of them. I don't know if we'll get through all of them. If we end up going off on tangents, we'll just roll with it, whatever. So first one here is, I didn't take the names here, but whatever. A lot of these are very common, so I'm sure you're going to be able to relate to a lot of this. So the first one here is, I get super busy at work And then I end up tired and exhausted at the end of the day, and too tired and exhausted to meal prep.
So are we coming up with solutions here? Like,
yeah,
I would give my advice of what I would do in this situation.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So the big thing, man, is if you get too tired to meal prep by the end of the day, meal prep in before your day starts. Get up earlier, right? So it comes down to like decision fatigue. I mean, you know all about decision fatigue. Yeah. You have an allotted amount of energy that you can dedicate to making decisions. So this is where willpower comes in. As soon as you wake up, that's when your willpower is the strongest. That's when you have the ability to make the most smartest decisions, maybe the most difficult decisions, right? As you go throughout the day, you make more and more and more decisions, and you start getting worn out. So think about like what takes up the majority of your energy. Meal prepping takes up a lot of energy. So I would tackle that in the morning, or find a day or 2 days within the week that you actually block out a part of your schedule. And it doesn't take that long. Meal prep takes like an hour. Like it takes an hour and a half, maybe.
And you get faster every time you do it.
You get faster and more efficient the more you do it. Yeah. So I would do it in the morning, or pick out 2 days in the week or on the weekend where you actually knock it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah. And it's, what was I going to say there? It goes back to something I said earlier. So like, oh yeah, if you go through one of these days where you didn't meal prep, you weren't prepared, or you have to meal prep like in the evening and then you end up failing, failure is never fatal, right? And find the lesson in it. So the way to find the lesson in this one is, all right, how am I going to set myself up for success the next time I have to meal prep, right? So sure, I failed, whatever, I'm over it now. What am I going to do right now in this moment, right this second, that's going to set me up for success next time? And that would be an alarm in your phone, maybe, right? So just like Braydon said, well, the day went by, you screwed up, whatever, set your alarm for earlier, and plan out things in as much detail as you can. So what I would do in a day that looked like this is I would plan out, okay, well, what time am I gonna get up in the morning? What is that gonna look like? Visualize yourself doing it and crushing it, right? So I'm gonna wake up, I don't know, I usually wake up at 6. I'm gonna give myself an extra hour and a half, so I'll wake up at 4:30. I'll go to the grocery store. Maybe it might not be open that early. Maybe you might have to do the groceries in the evening and have them ready the night before, right? So look, I just discovered a problem that I would have run into if I didn't start thinking this through, right? Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna get all the groceries, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna do the meal prep in the morning, right? So
yeah, one other kind of just tip, one little hack. I think so here's a tool that you guys can use. The Instant Pot. You guys ever heard? Do you guys have the Instant Pot over there? It's like the most underutilized tool. Guys, get yourself an Instant Pot. It makes all of your meal preps so much easier and so much faster.
And you know what? I gave up on it. I tried it and it didn't work well. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this.
Really?
Never again. Yeah.
I literally do everything in the Instant Pot nowadays, man.
I think it's because some guy gave me his and it was like an old one, and I think it was shitty, maybe broken. He was just trying to, I don't know, maybe he's one of those guys who didn't want to throw it out. Let this guy deal with it.
Handing it down.
But now I have trauma from that, so now I won't. I don't touch those.
Did it ever explode on you?
No, I put all the stuff in it and I Googled how to use it properly, and I how this happens every time you use a new appliance, right? You work off the parameters you're used to, right? So like I just moved into a new apartment. It was actually a few months ago. And normally I cook my chicken at like 350 or something for like 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. I did it and I take the chicken out and it's like pink on the inside. But with an Instant Pot, are they like slow cookers?
They're pressure cookers. So it's like a slow cooker, but it's pressurized. So it cooks significantly faster.
Okay, so this was a slow cooker, so it was a big time investment. So it was the first time I was doing it, so I was like it was like the main thing I was doing. And then so it was like a few hours that I had to wait for all my stuff to finish, and then it was just like not cooked, and I was like,
yeah, dude, you got yourself a freaking crock pot. You didn't get yourself an Instant Pot.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. But then
anyway,
other solutions is I see my client Tyler Church on. He pays a guy to do his meal prep for him. And I've used a service like that before. So that's another thing you can do. A cheaper version of that is Instacart. You ever heard of that, Braden?
I've seen ads for it.
It's essentially just like Uber for groceries. You pay someone.
Oh.
It's cheap, so it's just a couple extra bucks, and they go and they pick up your groceries for you.
You're probably door dashing your stuff anyway. You might as well just do that.
Yeah, and you're door dashing bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then meal. Yeah, I mean DoorDash is ridiculously expensive, and when you order food like that, it's more expensive because they cook it for you, right? So that's the same thing as doing meal prep, right? Yeah, if you're someone who eats out every meal, and I've had clients who have come to me and that's what they did before. Like I had one client a few years ago, and he was saving $1,000 a month because I was getting him cooking his own food.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy how much money you can easily spend just by like ordering in. Like even if you're like eating healthy, sure, but like it's still expensive to get like.
Most people don't pay attention to it, right? Because it's like something that like if it's not like a lot of people that's what makes them happy, right? So they won't compromise there.
Well, and they're microtransactions. So I always use a story when I had like an energy drink addiction. I would get 2 or 3 energy drinks a day, every single day. And it's like, $2 or $3 a day, or like $2 or $3 per transaction. You don't think about it. And then you actually look at the bill at the end of the month. Yeah. That was what got me to quit drinking the freaking Monsters. Cause I was like, dude, I'm like spending like $250 a month on this crap.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And you can just make your own coffee at home.
Yeah.
Or caffeine pills, whatever.
Or the freaking Crystal Light makes little like energy little things. You just add carbonated water to that, and there you go, energy drink.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing for pre-workout is Mio Electrolyte.
Yeah.
Citrulline malate and creatine.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't think the Mio is pretty expensive, but I think it's still probably cheaper than pre-workout.
Right. I did the math on some of like the most popular pre-workouts. Man, you weren't kidding when you said tangents. So pre-workouts, it can amount to like sometimes like $1.50 to $2 per scoop.
Yeah.
So I'm sure your Mio is coming out cheaper.
Yeah. But I don't mind. I've always something that's always been part of my spending. So
there you go.
My rule for fitness early on, this helped me out a lot, is if it's fitness related, don't look at the price tag.
There you go. All right.
Let's move on to another one here. Let's see. Let me make sure it's a good one. Okay, this one, it's a little bit vague, but I know that both you and I can relate to it, Braydon.
Okay.
Recent work challenges. It feels like I always need to catch up. I'm always playing catch up.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Brandon, but this January particularly has been the busiest time of the year for me. Yeah. I've been putting in this week has calmed down significantly, but I've been putting in 80-hour weeks the last couple of weeks. So I get it. And sometimes, at least for me and some of my clients, when life gets crazy, because life is going to get crazy. I mean, not every week is going to be perfect. I almost like to kind of you might have a different story here, but like it kind of depends on the circumstance, but I like to almost like step off the gas a little bit when it comes to the training and nutrition, because the training and nutrition, especially if it's fat loss, that's stressful on the body. And so too much stress, whether it's physiological, emotional, or whatever, like it can add up. And so when life gets really, really stressful and crazy, easing off the gas can actually help a lot, and also prevent you from just completely throwing your hands in the air saying screw it and then just giving up. So for me, that's been helpful with my clients, and like when life calms down, they're able to like rev on the gas again. So I don't know, like thoughts? I'm different actually. Okay.
And this is something I've sort of kind of discovered a little more recently. So I've always programmed in my deloads every 5th week.
Okay.
So I don't do it like I don't auto regulate. I just pencil them in and do them. And recently, starting in September when I moved, this is when it started, because when I moved, I was like really, really busy, obviously. Like when I move, I have like OCD, so I have to get everything done right away, and like unpacked, or I'm I like there's junk in my brain, right? If there's junk hanging around, there's junk in my brain, which is that's another discussion. But so what I did is I did, for the first time ever, I did a deload where I just didn't train at all for the whole week. And that time it was that was a legitimate thing to do. It helped out because I had so much like physical things to do. Then the next deload, I was like, you know what? That was fine. You don't lose gains not going to the gym in a week. It takes, 2 weeks plus of you not going to the gym to start losing muscle.
Right.
I'm going to do it for my next deload too, and spend the free time working, doing more work. And then what happened is I did probably the same amount of work that I would have normally done while training, if not less, because of just like the training is just a good way to break up my day. If I don't go to the gym, I'm sitting in my, like I'll probably sit in my apartment all day if I don't have anything else to do, go to the grocery store or something. And then number two, just the way like it makes me feel energy wise. Like it's the thing, it's my favorite part of the day, essentially, in some ways. Right. So yeah, I just found I was, the free time, like, sure, I had a lot to do, and I knew what the additional work that I would do was going to be, but I would just end up procrastinating, right? Because not everything's a top priority. And that happened for like 3-4 deloads in a row. And I just confirmed it every time. Since I told myself that it was okay to do it, it became a habit. The last deload I did do an active one. I think it was more like half. It was like active, and then do you think it's because like you took yourself out of your routine so much that it threw you off? Yeah, when I have rest days, like that's another thing we can talk about, is getting in a groove. But yeah, so the days that I train, I talked about this 2 days ago. I did like a little random live on it. When you have a training session in your day, like with your meals, I'm referring to specifically with like how I eat. So on my off days, sometimes I'll just work and I'll keep working, and then my first meal won't be till like 3. And then sometimes I'll forget to have my second meal. So I'll have one of those days where it's 150 gram protein meal before bed. And the reason for that is because I'm sure you've read Atomic Habits, right? Habit stacking. Yep. So for me, my training session is a trigger to have my pre-workout meal, and it's a trigger to have my protein shake when I finish my workout at the gym, and it's a trigger to have my post-workout meal. So when I don't have that training session, then nothing triggers those meals, right?
That makes a lot of sense. So what would your advice be to someone who is dealing with like a huge workload right now? Like, what would you say to them?
Well, it depends on the person. Sometimes, yeah, like less sessions could be better. But another thing you need to consider is like less sessions. I mean, it could potentially mean longer workouts unless you make them more dense and you add supersets and less rest periods and stuff like that. So it really depends, because sometimes I'll put someone like that. In the past, I've experienced putting someone like that on a 3-day per week workout, which made me not a big fan of that, because then it turns into 0 days per week. I've seen a few cases of that.
So now I'm picking your brain here. So are you more of a proponent of getting them to train daily to keep them in a routine?
Not daily. So I've never put someone, like, I don't think anyone should train longer than 6 days per week.
Sure.
But I mean, yeah, you at least want to get out for like a walk or something on the rest days. But and one of the reasons too is like, if you're taking something, like if one of your top priorities is getting in shape and you're hiring a coach for that, you should be spending at least 5 days a week on it, as much as you spend like at your job, right? So my advice for someone, so the first thing that I'll do with someone who is struggling with a busy schedule is where are you being inefficient with your time first, right? Where are you not planning things out, right? Like, just like I talked about with a meal prep, when you sit down and you visualize like what you want your day to look like, and you like I ran into that problem in my head, right? You solve the problems before they actually arise. and you learn how to set up your day. So it's like, boom, I do this, then I do that, then I do this, then I do that. That can be very empowering, help you build up self-efficacy. So you're busy, but you're crushing it, right?
Man, this is why I like talking to other professionals, because yeah, so the way that I structure things is they have 3 days of training per week. But I like what you're saying, because you have more days of training throughout the week, but it's to keep them active, it's to keep them in a routine, it's to keep them busy.
Yeah.
And I really like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I want people to enjoy and look forward to training, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, let's find another one. Let's see. I got some live comments here. Yeah, Tyler, I can't. Yeah, so Tyler's one of my clients. He's crushing it. He loves training now, and he didn't before. He was one of the. So yeah, there's a case of this. Yeah, he wasn't that into training before. He couldn't figure out, like, if that's the thing. If you dread it, the reason could be because you're not good at it, right?
Yeah.
Who likes doing stuff they suck at, right?
Well, I mean, I hate bodybuilding. I still don't like it that much, but I'm having to do it in August, so whatever. That's how you get good. That's how you like it, right?
We'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Tyler said, I can't miss a day. I'll be so bored and I feel guilty about not doing it. Yeah. So that, I mean, guilt can be a bad thing, but it could also be a good thing when it's for something that's healthy, right?
Sure. Yeah. Looks like we got a couple guys here on the webinar. One of the guys that's on here is actually one of my clients from the UK. It's probably past your bedtime here, dude.
Yeah. It must be almost midnight there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed this, but over here, I have more international clients outside of America than I now have clients in America. So I don't know what's up with America, but they need to step their game up. So
I don't know. Yeah, I don't get that. I have one in the UK and one in the Netherlands, and then I've had a few others at other times, but mostly in the States.
Interesting.
All right, let's find another one here.
Cool.
Let me just read it to make sure it's good. And when I say good, I mean just easy to answer.
Effective.
Oh yeah, stop. Oh no, this one has a solution. Like it's not actually a problem. It's just, well, we'll touch it quick. So being lazy, this is one of my clients actually. I remember, yeah. He said, mine is being lazy. I blame it on my job and taking client meetings from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Ooh. But I could still go afterwards if I'd stop being lazy. I have stopped being a little bitch, and I have been going 5 to 6 days a week at 4 a.m. the past 3 weeks. I feel so much better on the days I go. Yeah. So this is something that so one of the first things I'll ask a client if they say I missed my workout because of my busy day, I say, when do you go? And I know they're going to tell me I go after work. And one of the lowest hanging fruit solutions to that is, what about going in the morning? And I know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, yuck, right? And that's how I felt. I know people are going to say that because that's how I felt the first few years that I started training. The way that I got into training is there was a guy at the job that I just got who was into working out. And he went every morning. He's like, oh, I love this. It's my favorite thing to do in the day. And he's like, I go first thing in the morning before work. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? and then I was forced to do it when I was working in the oil field because it was 12-hour days, 2 hours of travel time. So I literally just started waking up, popping a ephedrine and caffeine and going straight to the gym first thing. And that's when I discovered, like, wow, this is like a really good like energy hack. And it just made me feel like I was really maximizing my spare time, which is very scarce. So I was working 14 days in a row in a camp in the middle of nowhere, northern Alberta. And I was like, so I would go to the gym right away in the morning. I'd be the first one to the dining room because everyone in the camp you have to line up. So I'd be one of the first ones, and then I wouldn't have to wait in a line. Most people who slept in, they got to wait in a line, and now they're wasting all of their downtime. And that's why people get really like depressed up there. And after work, I could do whatever I wanted. And I was like just studying, that kind of thing. So just trying to be as productive as possible.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, morning workouts, low hanging fruit solution to an issue like that?
I've been trying to find a new rhythm for me because I'm finding that I'm more productive at night. So like things like this, I'm more productive at night. But I usually train at night, and that usually eats up all of my energy. So, we as being entrepreneurs, we have to kind of find this balance of like channeling our energy into our training sessions, but also kind of like channeling our energy into actually like growing the business. So I'm in the middle of kind of like a transitionary phase.
So do you get your best work done before or after your workout?
Definitely before. But at the end of my workout, I'm like spent. So
that's getting your circadian rhythm dialed, right?
It is. And if I train too late at night, I'm wired. I can't go to sleep. And I've talked about that too. Like, don't train too late at night. So I'm trying to figure out a new rhythm that takes into effect like best hours for productivity for business, and then also like getting the most energy for my training sessions.
Yeah, my schedule has been the most consistent it's ever been for a long time, for like the last well over a year now actually. What I like to do is wake up at 6 to 7. So I shift it based on the season. So like right now it stays dark until like 8:30 a.m.
Right.
So I wake up earlier because it also gets dark earlier in the evening. And then I have a little morning routine. I've been doing cardio recently, which is another thing we can talk about. That's something I struggle to get consistent with because Luke's forcing me to do it. Not forcing me, but recommends it.
Yeah.
And I'm paying him, so I'm gonna.
That's another thing. Paying another person keeps you more accountable.
Yeah, but where was I going with that? Yeah, and then I work until like 11, and then I go to the gym. And then, after the gym, I'm a little more tired. So like the work I'll do after usually isn't as productive, more procrastinating. I got the decision fatigue.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah. I just noticed over here in the webinar that all the Look Like You Lift guys are ruling the webinar right now. So
because all my guys are used to watching it in the Facebook.
They're on on your Facebook group. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a question from Chad Davis. Was an awesome client. He crushed it, and he was good to go on his own after 4 months. Nice. What do you guys think about vascularity? Is it an arbitrary effect of lifting, or can you improve vascularity? But some voodoo. I'm not sure what that part means, but I think that's good enough.
With some voodoo?
Yeah, and maybe he meant to say with instead of but. He'll correct himself.
So I'll take a crack at this. Yeah. So I think vascularity is multifactorial. But I think one thing that you, outside of like the normal things that you already understand doing, like getting leaner to actually see your veins, building up enough muscle to actually push the veins out. Yeah. Another thing that you can do is staying hydrated. Your blood volume is the majority of it is water. So, I mean, you can see both Brandon and I, like I've got my 2nd gallon right here. So getting in enough water, also getting enough salt. Those are like big ones. Your insulin sensitivity also plays a huge role. So like, for example, like you'll see, like I'm pretty vascular right now, but that's because I had 3 English muffins. So it's like the glycogen's coursing through, the glucose is coursing through my veins right now, but I'm not vascular first thing in the morning. So all that kind of plays a role in it.
Yeah.
So
muscles to push the veins up against your skin, being lean, so there's no fat between your muscles and your skin. That's the most important thing, I would say. So if we were to make a hierarchy, that would be the most important thing. Right. Muscle, I would say muscle is probably, it would be right there with it. And then so when Braydon says staying hydrated, sodium and potassium, right?
Those are the primary ones. Yeah.
So electrolytes. And then so if you play around with your carb and salt intake, because another thing, carbs are 3 parts water. So when you consume carbs and they convert into glycogen, a lot of that water that's in the carbs will actually will get stored in your muscles. So that'll kind of blow. That will help contribute to the pump along with the salt and the water that you're consuming. So if you play around with that before your workout, you'll start seeing it make a difference. So maybe try allotting like something that you could do to see maybe like a more immediate kind of change here is like a lot more of your carbs to pre-workout, play with that a little bit. And then if you don't take pre-workout, you can make your own. So like I was saying, I don't know if you guys caught this at the beginning of the video here. I have for my pre-workout, I just have meal electrolyte. So electrolyte just has sodium and potassium in it. And then some citrulline. So that's a vasodilator, right? Is that right?
Vasodilator.
Yeah. So that helps with the pump as well. So you can play around with that. You just get it at the supplement store, and then that's it.
And it's dirt cheap too, man.
Yeah, citrulline malate is dirt cheap. And then playing with the salt intake too. So if you have a meal that's not very salty before your workout, try salting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my pre-workout is, so I don't take a pre-workout drink, but I'll do a steak. I'll do potatoes. Well, this is before Luke's changed my meal, but I would do steak, I would do potatoes, and then I would do a Cialis. So I'm cheating a little bit, but the potatoes are loaded with potassium.
Does that make it so you get spontaneous boners?
Not if you take it at the right time. If you take it at the right time, all of the blood goes to the right spots. But if you miss it, if you miss the timing, the blood's going to go somewhere else.
I want to pick your brain on this now, because I've heard of that before, but
so I mean, we can talk all about pharmacology, man. This is like right up my wheelhouse. I studied biochemistry, but yeah, if you take a Cialis, 10 milligrams is all you need. You take it. For me, like, everyone's going to metabolize it differently, but like for me, I take it an hour and a half pre-workout, hour and a half pre-workout, and I get awesome pumps. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the video that I posted the other day of my bicep curls. I had a freaking anaconda coming out of my bicep. That's the blood flow.
I have to try the Cialis then.
Yeah, go to your doctor and say, I need Cialis for my blood pressure, and then you'll actually get it cheaper. So don't say it because
because you can get it's cheaper from your doctor.
It's cheaper from your doctor if you say, and through your insurance, if you say it's for blood pressure reasons. If you say it's because you want a little more action in bed, it'll be more expensive because it's not a like a life-threatening problem.
That's that kind of shit is hard in Canada. They'll make me do a blood test, and then they'll want to like know that I have blood pressure issues, right?
Yeah.
I tried to get a specific blood panel, and the doctor just like, she was like pissed off, probably because she like they're trained in such a specific way or something in Canada.
Yeah. That's annoying.
Cost Canada. Holy shit, it's expensive.
How much is it over there?
Brand Cialis 20 milligrams, $17 per tablet.
Per tablet? Dude.
This must be wrong, because look, it says what the. Yeah, this is totally wrong. Look at
There's
this.
no way, man. No. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. So you have to get the tadalafil. So get generic Cialis. Don't get brand name Cialis. Got to get tadalafil.
Tadalafil.
TADA. Tadalafil. There you go. Right there.
Should I get it online?
We're showing you guys how you can get your medications. Yes, is tadalafil good as that? It's the exact same thing. It's just the brand. It's just like when you go to it's like Tylenol and acetaminophen. It's the exact same thing. Just one's the brand, one's the other, like the generic medication. But no, I pay. It's like, so I don't have it. So I have health share. It's different than insurance. I pay like $1 a tablet for 20 milligram tablets.
Look on Reddit here. Where can I buy Cialis in Calgary? Go to a doctor, tell them you're having a hard time.
Literally any pharmacy. My friend said you need a prescription. Yes, you'll need a prescription, but also, I mean, if you want to be really shady, you can get your stuff through Turkey. Yeah, but I'm not promoting that. So
this is good timing for this discussion, because I have my photo shoot coming.
Yeah. All right. So for your photo shoot, Luke is probably going to tell you all this stuff anyway, but
he didn't tell me last time to do Cialis.
So yeah. So actually, this is what I plan to do for my bodybuilding show is, I'll do a Cialis before my show. I'm going to be planning on doing a couple other vasodilators. Like, I'll do, I'll do an ephedrine to help with blood flow. I'm planning on going to be doing like a clenbuterol the day of. So those three things, along with, you know, consuming a lot of carbs, is going to help you make you look really pumped up. Like you're going to get that stretched out feeling, like that painful kind of pump.
That's only if you're lean and you're peaking, right? That's something that's important for people to know when they're.
Yeah. So guys, what I'm telling Brandon is not going to apply to you. So by the time Brandon gets to his photo shoot, he's going to be in such a starved, deprived state, insulin sensitive state, that when he goes through his peak week, he's going to be freaking miserable. But everything's going to line up perfectly, that when we can time it with these specific drugs, along with the food and the calories and all the water, of course, Luke is going to tell him exactly what to do, but he's going to look super physiological in those pictures. You know, if you look at the pictures that I always post around Instagram, I don't look like that now. Come on. Like it's all a magical thing to make you look primed for like an hour. So don't plan on doing it all the time.
Temporary improved appearance.
Simply to look good on camera. That's all.
Chad's like, I don't use. Oh wait, here's a good one. I know that this is a good topic for you and I, Braydon. All the guys I've been meeting are using testosterone. I'm not thinking it's for me, but tell me the facts on this crap. Oh, so he wants this for you. Yeah. It feels like a cheat code.
It is not a cheat code. It's simply just optimizing your hormones. I am a 100% proponent that if you're over the age of 35 and you are low testosterone, you should be on TRT. You just get it. It's worth the money. And nowadays, TRT clinics are popping up like McDonald's. Like you can get TRT nowadays.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. There's absolutely, when done correctly and working on actively getting healthier, there are no negative side effects to TRT. I mean, you can tell. I had to do a whole thing on this, but I can literally tell you all of the things that people are scared of with TRT, like thicker blood, prostate cancer, hair falling out. Like I can literally go through all that and tell you why that's not true.
I think the best way to put it is the downsides of the side effects of having low testosterone, you should be far more worried about.
100%. I mean, with low testosterone, you have osteoporosis, you have atrophy, you have sickle cell anemia, you have brain disorders, you have degenerative brain diseases, degenerative spinal disc diseases, you have so many other health.
Erectile dysfunction, depression, erectile dysfunction.
100%. Yeah. There's freaking high. You can actually have higher cholesterol from low testosterone, heart clogging issues, stroke, heart attack. So there's the negative side effects of low T greatly outweigh the side effects of having normal T.
Tyler, I doubt you, based on how you look, I doubt you have low T. Who knows though? Because low T doesn't have as heavy as an impact on your ability to build muscle and get lean as most people think.
No, it's not. It's definitely not like this magical hormone that fixes all your problems.
But Tyler, I definitely would like, and I can't speak as confidently on this as Braydon can because I've never done it. I don't know much about it. But what I will say is you should definitely see a men's specialist doctor on it. Mm-hmm. Get your levels checked. And make sure it's a TRT clinic, because a lot of the other doctors, they don't know what they're doing with it. They might not want to give it to you. A lot of doctors are trained all in a very specific way, right? So like if it's something that they're not sure about, they won't be able to help you out as well.
Right. And just based off of looks isn't going to tell you how good your levels are. I recommend, if you do decide to get test checked, to get a full blood panel done with it as well, because if we can take a look at the entire panel and do a proper interpretation, you may not need TRT immediately. We might be able to find other deficiencies that are affecting that. Very basic things, like if you're deficient in the B vitamins, if you're deficient in vitamin D, if your cortisol levels are high, if your blood sugar levels are high, like all of that's going to affect your testosterone. If we can optimize that first, then you're going to be, who knows what will happen. Tommy in the chat goes, I have low test and most days are a struggle mentally, let alone physically. Currently having blood panels every month. Yeah, Tommy is one of my clients. We're trying to get him, we're working our best to optimize his natural level. It's the same kind of thing over in the UK. It's really, really hard to get proper prescriptions and medications done.
Free healthcare.
Yeah, it's kind of a struggle, man. But we're working hard on like what we can do as far as like things that aren't medical interventions to help him with that. Stress management, getting the weight off. Fat loss is definitely going to help with it. It's kind of a positive feedback loop if we can do that. Get the weight off.
Sleep is a really big one.
Say again?
Sleep.
Oh yeah, I thought you said leap for some reason.
No,
sleep is huge. Guys way underestimate the power of sleep for all hormones. So
it's hard, but it's the kind of thing. I worked on this for years and years trying to optimize my sleep. You can't give up on it. But if you have a stretch of time where you're actually getting an actual 8 to 8.5 hours of sleep every single night, you'll feel like fucking Superman. And a lot of people, so the big thing here is don't confuse the time that you spend in bed with sleep, right? Because if you're not preparing yourself well for sleep, your circadian rhythm's all off, you're having caffeine too close before bed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're training before bed.
Staring at your phone.
Yeah, if you bring my phone does not enter my bedroom.
Yep.
There's no TV in my bedroom. That's a horrible idea.
Yep.
Blue light blockers like Braydon has on right now, and I got to put on in 13 minutes when my alarm goes off. So yeah, you could be spending 8 to 8.5 hours in bed, and if your sleep hygiene is shitty enough, you could be getting 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep. If you're tossing and turning, you're waking up, you're not sleeping deeply. That's another thing. You could be asleep, but it could be you could never really enter. Maybe not never, but yeah, maybe not never. You could not be entering deep sleep. You could not be getting REM sleep.
Yeah. Could I throw out another tool that a lot of guys should be looking into?
Yeah.
So for a lot of the bigger guys, I work with like larger men. I don't know about you, like your ideal client, but I have a lot of guys who are like obese, they're overweight. And so a lot of you guys have sleep apnea. And so a tool that you need to be looking into until we can get the weight off is a CPAP. A lot of you guys
need a bridge to get you there.
Yeah, the CPAP is going to change your life. And no, like, let's get our head out of the 1980s. It's not like putting on a Darth Vader mask and it's loud throughout the night. The machines nowadays are very, very quiet. They're easy to use. But the second that you put it on and you know how to work it, like, they're very easy to work out. But once you have it figured out, man, your sleep is life-changing. So get a sleep study done, get a CPAP. If you want to, I'm not promoting anything here, but if you want to see a way to get it without a prescription, let me know. I can show you how to do it.
So, if it's fucking helpful, promote it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, my thing is, like, you shouldn't need, there's nothing harmful about a CPAP. Absolutely not. And so I don't see the need to have a sleep study done and a prescription to get a CPAP. So I can show you where you can get one without a prescription, and just message me or just hit me up. I can help you find one. So
yeah, anything that's going to improve your life and make you feel better, help you lose body fat, get in shape.
Yeah,
is worth it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not illegal. Like, you're not going to break down your door for using a CPAP without a prescription. So,
all right, let's. So it's been 50 minutes. Let's find one more good one here.
Cool.
Yeah, let me make sure it's a good one. Oh, I highlighted one. I don't know. Let's see if there's any better ones. Staying motivated. No, this is basically the same one. Yeah, same thing. Have to work out morning. Yeah. Okay. Learning that I think and feel like I am being consistent, but maybe I am really not.
You think and you feel like you're being consistent, but you're really not.
I like this one. So this is like, this is a symptom of not. So a few things. Number one, not knowing, like, let's say your goal is to lose fat, and like most people, they know what they want to look like.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, they want to look lean and muscular, but they have 20 pounds of fat to lose. And then someone's like, they're working out, they're eating healthy, they're not tracking their macros or anything, but they're eating healthy and clean, or they're not following.
I hate that word. I don't even know what is healthy supposed to mean when it comes to
exactly. And then someone tells them that they say, should I be losing weight? I haven't been losing weight. And then someone says, oh, you must be building muscle and gaining fat at the same time. So you're not, so that's fine.
I hate that.
So then they think that they're doing all the right things, but they're not getting to where they want to be. So
what you just said is the biggest cop out of all shitty personal trainers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's like a lazy, like Band-Aid hitting the easy button.
Yeah. Oh, you're just building muscle.
Not even lazy. It's just because they don't know how to get you losing weight, right?
They don't know they don't know what the problem is. I saw it all the time when I was a personal trainer. It's like this person coming in, they're obviously still eating like crap. They're like, oh, you're just building muscle and losing weight at the same time, because they have to tell you these things to make sure that you stay with them as long as humanly possible, even though you're with them for 2+ years and you don't look or feel any different.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's always in-person trainers. Yeah, because it's easy for them to feel like they're getting value when they meet the trainer in person and they get put through a workout. If they're not getting, like, and you'll see this if you go to the same gym for years consistently, and you see personal trainers with their clients, 90% of them, maybe more, they never look any different.
100%. Yeah. No, I'm working on a long YouTube video right now where I talk about, like, personal trainers are scammers, man. Nowadays, personal trainers are just scammers.
A lot of them.
And we go into it, you know.
And you see, like, you can see, especially for you and I, Braydon, the kind of workouts that they put them through.
Oh yeah. It's a bunch of baloney. It's stuff to just, like, keep you guessing, to make you think like, I'm going to need him to tell me what to do for the rest of my life. Because obviously I can't figure this out on my own. So I have to do like the one-legged Bosu single-handed swing press things.
If your trainer gets you throwing a fucking medicine ball at a wall or pushing a sled back and forth, you should probably fire them.
Or anything one-legged, like any balancing thing. Come on.
Well, yeah. Or you're mixing 3 movements, or you're trying to do weight training faster to burn more calories.
Shadow boxing with 2 dumbbells in your hands.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I can't believe the shit I see trainers doing. I'm careful about calling them out, because I know that a lot of the trainers and the gyms I go to, they know who I am and stuff, and they follow me. But
personal trainers purposely don't follow me because I call them out.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing. So like, it's different when a gym member is doing silly stuff. I will never ever make fun of a gym goer that does things that I don't agree with, or does silly things, because they don't know better. However, when it's a personal trainer that's doing things to another person, I'm going to call you out, because you know it's bullshit. Come on. Like, you're just trying to, like, make a buck off of somebody.
Yeah. And I mean, to give some of them the benefit of the doubt, yeah, sure. Maybe like, actually, no. Yeah. I was going to say, maybe that's like progress for the client that isn't being seen, right? Like maybe they're making strides and like they're more confident in the gym. They can do some form of cardio for longer. That's a win for them. But I mean, when you pay a trainer or coach, like you're paying for results, right? There's a lot of other things, like results are a lot more than physical changes you see in the mirror, but at the same time, eventually it should happen in the mirror too.
Well, and you're also paying for, I would argue, you're also paying for education. I mean, you should eventually learn how to do this stuff on your own. Yeah. And if you end up paying this person months and months and months and you haven't learned anything, that's a problem, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, what I tell some people, so sometimes I'll have someone who books a consultation for more information to work with me. And if they tell me that I'm not confident with doing, you know, certain movements in the gym, like if you were to tell me to do a squat, I would just be lost. I just wouldn't do it. That's maybe a good reason to try to look for a good personal trainer. And that's a big thing right there. Look for a good one, which, you know, could be hard to do, but yeah. And then they'll try to sell you on like a year or 2 years or something, but work with them they'll try to make it so it's like 1 to 3 times a week, maybe for longer. Do it as frequently as you can in like a 3-month period, and make your goal becoming comfortable in the gym, because training is a small part of it, right? The nutrition is where most of the results come from.
Right.
You want to get to the point where you're at least confident enough in the gym that now you can start watching videos and stuff to improve on your form, and focus more of your time and attention on optimizing your nutrition.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, so to kind of go back to this question, the reason I like this, learning that I think and feel like I'm consistent, but maybe I'm really not. So the reason I like this one is because, yeah, like you need to know what realistic expectations are, right? So like if you cannot see your abs and you want to see your abs, it doesn't matter how much you weigh or how much muscle you have. A good way to, like, you should be losing weight, right, at first. And the targets for that is you should be, I don't know, you might do this a little differently than I do it, Braydon, but you should aim to lose between 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week on average. When I say on average, that means like if 1 week you lose 0.3% and the next week you lose 1.2, then that's going to average out, right? Over the course of about 12 to 20 weeks, depending on the rate of loss, and with an overall goal of losing about 10% of your total starting body weight, depending on how much weight you have to lose. If you don't have as much to lose, it could be less than that. And if you have more than that to lose and you don't hit it, then stop and do a maintenance phase, do another calorie deficit. But you definitely, if you think and feel that you're consistent, but you're wondering whether or not you are like lying to yourself, then you probably are.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm 100% on, like everything you said is the exact same thing that I do, man. We shoot for 1%, no more than 1%. Naturally, when you first start a cut, you're going to see a little bit faster just because of gut volume and stuff. But yeah, we do the exact same thing. I'm a huge proponent of diet breaks, taking a break, because dieting is stressful. It's a stressful process on the body, and things can happen if it's taken too far.
Yeah, if you do it with diet breaks, that makes it so the 12 to 20 week rule becomes longer.
It becomes longer, but I like the way that you do it, because you're kind of in the mindset, correct me if I'm wrong, you're in the mindset of like, hey, let's get this done and over with so we can like move on.
Yeah, I do. I do both. It depends on the client.
Sure. Yeah. So like I just take a different approach, but I like your approach of like, hey, let's just get aggressive. Let's get this over with so we can move on to the fun stuff, building muscle, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the same thing, man. Like 1%, nothing faster than that, and take it slow and take breaks, you know?
That's where we're different. I think the fun stuff is cutting.
Really?
Because yeah, when especially for me, like the way that I hold fat, I hold it like very evenly on my whole body. So when I'm focusing on building muscle, once I get about 3-4 months into it, I just do not look good at all. Like I almost don't even look like I lift. My strength, so it's definitely a lot more fun in the gym, because I like the strength gains I make, they go up quickly and a lot more faster than when I'm cutting. Can train longer, more volume, that kind of thing. But I love getting to the point like where I'm at right now for my a few weeks out from my photo shoot, where I'm shredded. You can see all my muscle, vascularity. I prefer that. I also don't really like, I'm in a groove right now with what I'm eating, and it's all very high volume food. I eat pretty much the exact same thing every single day. Whereas when I'm putting on muscle, when you're eating in a surplus, you got to make the food a little more interesting, and it takes
cut the corners a little bit.
Yeah, it takes a little more time. You gotta, like, I change my meals more often. And I start eating more junk, which I still control my calories and macros. But yeah, and then, yeah, I just don't like the way I look, et cetera, et cetera. So I prefer that cutting.
So yeah, this is where we can talk about this, like how different bodies can be. So you are lucky. Well, I guess I could call you lucky, because I'm on the other side of the fence here, but you distribute your fat throughout your entire body. Whereas I literally hold all of my fat right in there you go, 6 o'clock, right there in the belly and in the kidney lower back area. It literally is all right there. Like I still have veins all through my shoulders and my back and my legs, and like just veins everywhere. But like in all my progress photos, I can't post ab photos in the off season because they're literally not there. I'm not fat by any means, but my body just decides to hold it all in that one spot. So yeah. This
is September, this on the left. Like, I don't look like I lift. I'm flexing my abs hard there too.
But you can see it too. Like you can see how the fat is coming off of, it's diminishing from all of the, both the extremities and the torso area at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's even like, I'm kind of skinny fat in a way. So there's no V taper anymore.
Mm-hmm. I'm still going to make fun of you for your underwear.
Oh yeah. They're expensive, man. I run them till they blow up.
I'm sure some dude on Instagram would buy them off of you.
Oh yeah, probably. I get rid of those guys. I blast them.
Hey, money. There's money opportunities wherever you look, man. Take it up.
That's true. Yeah, and then now I'm a lot leaner. Oh, played live. Oh, I can't open two at once. Whatever. Forget it. Well, yeah. Anyway, all right. We're over an hour now.
Yeah. Should we call it a day, or do we still have viewers, or what?
Let me see if there's anyone on. So
Tommy says thank you for your time. Really appreciated it. Yep. You're welcome, man. Go to bed. It's past your bedtime. Speaking of which.
Let me go to my group. So if you're watching from the Physique Mastery group and you have any last questions or topics you want Braydon or I, both of us, to cover before we hop off.
Yeah. Questions or
there's 4 guys watching on there. Yeah. So we'll give you guys another minute, and then we'll wrap up.
See, I think we're kind of different though. Like we could probably just talk for hours, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I like your blockers, man. They have like that red tint to them. I placed an order yesterday for new prescription glasses, and I got they're like a dark red tint.
These are, they're like more orange. They look orange, and yeah, but they're Swanwick. They're the only ones I've ever had. This is the second pair I ordered. I have some daytime ones too. I don't think they do a whole lot though, to be honest.
I wear my daytime ones in the day, but I don't I notice a significant difference when I actually have the tinted ones at night.
Oh yeah, same. I noticed that. Yeah, I've been doing it every single night for almost 4 years now, and it makes a world of difference.
Have you ever gone a night where you haven't put them on and like your eyes are sore?
I noticed that from staring at a screen for too long, and that one of the promises they sell, and I looked at research on them, and the research on the daytime ones, like there doesn't really seem like there's actually any proven benefits. But a lot of the companies sell them on, it reduces screen-induced eye strain. I think it's because they don't block out all blue light, right? That's the difference. I think maybe it might decrease your cortisol a little bit from screen-induced blue light. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't looked much into the research on that. I just know from, I guess you could just say, anecdotal evidence that like when you just feel a difference when you put on blue light blockers, man. Like some nights I won't have them on. I'll just like this, like right now, like this burns. Like this feels like it's singeing my eyeballs.
Interesting.
So I don't know. It might just be me.
Yeah, I don't notice much of it. Like I'll wear them, and if I'm staring intensely enough at my screen for long enough, I'll still get the same level of like eye burn. For me, I just make sure I take breaks and like get out.
Yeah, that's good too.
But yeah, cool. All right, let's see. I think I'll get tested and go from there. Appreciate you guys. Sweet.
Yeah, if you need help with your lab analysis, I'm happy to take a look at your stuff too. I look at blood panels all the time, so.
Sweet. Cool. All right, let's wrap up.
All right, man. Well, anything else?
No, that's it.
Cool. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so for anyone, any of my followers who are watching who don't follow Braydon, he is just look like you lift. That's it, right? No dots or underscores.
Yep, just look like you lift, all one word.
He posts some awesome content on entertaining as well, entertaining and educational on Instagram. So go give him a follow there. And yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah. So for my followers who are on here on the Zoom, you just changed your Instagram profile. So it's
now
coach_Brandon H, physique transformation coach. Coach_Brandon H.
And then I'm getting more active on Instagram now, but I'm I'm also very active on Facebook. And you can reach out to me on either one. But if you go into my bio on Instagram, you can join my Facebook group for free. We do, this is the weekly live stream I do, just happened to bring Braydon on this time. And yeah, so you guys can catch the replay in there. It'll be available right away. I'm sure Braydon will post it as well on his YouTube or something.
Yeah, do you want to send me the recording?
Yeah, I will.
Sweet.
Cool. All right, let's
awesome.
go. Catch you later.
See ya.